Tradition is not evil. Tradition is not evil.
Faith and family focus today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining.
I welcome you all to today's episode of Faith and Family Focus Today. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing about a sensitive topic, tradition. So many people misunderstood this word, tradition, because of some certain things they have told us for a long time. Our fathers told us that tradition is when you worship idol, when you worship something, when you do something that is linked to an African religion, that is tradition. But I come to tell you today that tradition is different from what they told us. Now, let's see what tradition means. What is tradition? Tradition is an act, behavior, or belief that has been established for a long time, that has been practiced for a long time. That is called tradition. That is why I said in our previous video that tradition is being practiced in all the religion. Tradition is being practiced in all the religion. Tradition is not linked to African religion. Tradition is a word of its own. Tradition is a word of its own. Now, tradition is a belief. It's a belief system. Tradition is a behavior, a lifestyle that has been practiced for a long time. A pattern that has been practiced for a long time. That is called tradition. People will say that church did not want tradition to stay. That we are going back to our tradition. Yes, it's true. You can go back to your tradition. Why? Because you can go back to what you have been practicing. It's true. But when you tell me that idol worshipping is a tradition, idol worshipping is not a tradition. Idol worshipping is not a tradition. Idol worshipping is a religion, not a tradition. So tradition is something that has been practiced for a long time. So tradition is found in church, tradition is found in African religion, tradition is found in Islamic religion. Because if you come to an Islamic religion, you will see what they have, their pattern. You will see their pattern. You will see the way of life. You will see their way of life. You will see the way they behave. It's called tradition. When you come to Igbo land, that is what makes you know that this person is an Igbo person. Number one is the way they greet, the way they dress, and the way they do things. That is called tradition. Tradition is not evil. Tradition is not evil. Tradition is something that has been done for a long time, whether good or bad, whether evil or good. So you cannot say that tradition is evil or tradition is good. Tradition is tradition. Tradition is a name given to something that has been practiced for a long time. That is tradition. Just check in Nigeria, you see that many churches is not running their churches with the same pattern. They have the way they dressed, they have the way they do their worship, they have the way they position themselves, they have the way they speak, they have the way they move, they have the way they behave. Come to Igbo land, for example. If an Igbo man wants to greet you, an Igbo man will greet you by shaking you. But when you come to Yoruba land, a Yoruba man cannot shake you to greet you. As a Yoruba man, meeting a Yoruba man, no. Yoruba man will lie flat on the ground and greet. Yes, a Yoruba man will lie flat on the ground and greet you. But an Igbo man cannot come and lie flat on the ground and greet you because their tradition is not lying down to greet. They did not teach them how to lie down and greet. They taught them how to. They taught them how to shake and greet. Even an elder, for you to greet an elder, greeting an elder in Igbo land is different from greeting an ordinary person. In Igbo land, we have two ways of greeting. The way you greet an elder is not the way you greet a young man, a young person of your age. Now, greeting in Igbo land, number one, if you want to greet a young person, you greet that person by shaking of hands. But when you want to greet an elder, you greet that elder by bending down. The elder will touch your back. That is a tradition. An elder will touch your back and bless you. The elder may say, Yagazeregi. That means, let it be well with you. Yagazeregi. The elder will touch your back. That is a respect. That is a tradition in Igbo land. But in Yoruba land, you lie down flat to greet an elder. In Hausa land also, you bend down to greet. It's a tradition. That is a tradition. That is a tradition. There are some certain traditions set in the Bible, in the way you would do, in the way you will behave, the way you will do, in the way you behave, the way you act, the way you react. That is a tradition. That is why the Bible says, you should not use because of the tradition of men and dishonor God. That means there are tradition of men, there are tradition of God. God has a tradition. Man has a tradition. Not only made for African religion, no. That somebody will go and start worshiping idol and tell you that I am doing tradition. No, you are not doing tradition. You are practicing religion. You are practicing religion, because what you are doing, if it has been practiced for a long time, that is when it will become tradition. You can't start worshiping idol today and you call it tradition. No, it's when you do it for a long time and you pass it on to another people, that is when it becomes tradition. It is not tradition until it's being practiced for a long time. Something you start today is not a tradition. That is why in Igbo land they say, that means if something has been practiced for a long time, for a year, it has become tradition. Like Christmas. Christmas is a tradition because it has been practiced for a long time. This is what is called tradition. Tradition is not that you go back today and start worshiping anything, worshiping something, or start doing charm, and you tell me that no, it's not a tradition. It becomes tradition when you have done that for a long time. And when you have done that for a long time, that is when it becomes tradition. Tradition is a behavior, is a belief. It's a belief system that has been practiced for a long time, that has been established. Because when you talk about establishment is not done in a day. You can never establish anything in a day. You can never establish anything in 2 days. No, it takes time. It takes time for you to establish something. So that thing you establish for a long time, it is called tradition. So let us understand what these things mean, so that we will not misunderstood ourselves. Tradition is different from religion. Tradition is different from, is when something has been done for a long time. You can start a religious act today. Yes, it is possible to call it a religion because it's a religion because you have started it today. Because worshiping is religion. Worshiping is religion. When you start to worship idol today, it can be called religion, but cannot be called tradition. Yes. So I hope you understand the meaning of tradition, so that you will not misunderstood somebody when somebody said, I am a traditional man. If you are a traditional man, that means you have practiced religion for a long time. That makes you a traditional man. A traditional man is somebody who has practiced a religious act in African religion for a long time. Like a chief priest who has been in a shrine for a long time. It has been a heritage that has been passed on to you for a long time. That is called tradition. I hope you enjoyed this video. As we are coming to the end of this video, don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to like and comment. Anything that is your opinion, please don't forget to comment. Comment it on the comment section so that others can learn too. Don't just watch and pass. Also comment and share. Follow us if this is your first time of visiting this page or visiting this channel. I still remain Evangelist Wisdom Ozemenam Ane. In our next episode, we are going to be discussing about custom and culture. Custom and culture in our next video. Thank you and bye.